All right, buddy. My good old pal. Hey, pal.
Hey
Hey,
there,
pal.
pal. You
Are
ready to
you
talk? You ready to talk Darkland too?
Darkland 2? My goodness, I thought you'd never ask.
I know the
So
tension was building.
it was. All right, since you asked me the first question on the last comic, I'm gonna ask you, what did you think, man? I last time we talked about this, you let me just sit on it the whole time and didn't jump in until the end about how you
Yeah,
felt. So you're starting off this time.
yeah. Well, I mean, that last time too is like this. This is one that I read when it first came out, and then we had our interview with Jonathan, and then it just kind of left my mind. And then when you were talking about it, I was like, oh, right. Yeah. Like I read that too. Like I completely
Mm,
forgot about it.
hmm
And I really enjoyed issue two. It wasn't quite the dinger I would hope it would be, but it was at least like a triple, to talk
Okay.
baseball terms.
There you
Um,
go. I don't understand, but there will be a select few people out there who do.
yeah. Well, a trip. Well, I guess even in me just calling it a triple would be two different things. Like you get a triple base hit, or you can get a triple play out. Either way,
Anyways,
I was referencing the base hit because that's more positive than the out.
good.
Unless you're the fielding team, then it's a positive. So I guess either way it works out. Um, Anywho, yeah. So this series follows a character named Zed, but like we don't actually see Zed until later on in this issue,
Yeah, a little
and
bit later.
we're mostly following this girl. What is it?
Oh, don't throw
Hmm,
me in. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Rose?
I'm terrible with names and remember them in comics. But
Yeah,
are you
Rose. It's
Rose?
Rose.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Uh,
yeah. So Rose is like this kind of, I guess, would be this young prodigy, very intelligent.
yeah.
Seems to be a
A lot
creative
of
sort.
people are looking for her.
Yeah, and she's part of this, I guess, gang collaboration thing. So
Yeah.
this is, I feel like we need to say this. This comic seems to be set in like almost post apocalypse. Does that make sense? Like it seems
Yeah.
like the apocalypse is kind of come and gone, and then now they're kind of rebuilding society because you can, from a lot of the context of the story, and this is another type of like story writing that I really enjoy, is from like the way that they're speaking. They're not explaining the situation, but you can understand the situation because of it. So there's a scene
Mhm.
in this where like they talk about, there's less of these certain type of monsters. We ran into one and we thought it would be a problem and it wasn't, or something like that. And showing that's like, so these things used to be a really big problem. They're becoming less of a problem. There's trade routes going across, territories and yada yada yada. It's
Yeah.
super interesting. I think a lot of people love to play with like the apocalypse, but the idea of like that early like rebuilding civilization is that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. No, and like you said, it's kind of like when I was explaining it to my wife, I'm like, it's kind of like almost in a sense like the show Last of Us right now. And I know it's a game before.
Hmm
But just like kind of that setting of like it's 20 plus years post whatever happened to bring the world to this like apocalypse.
hmm
And like that scene where her and the boy that she's, kidnapped in her lair, they're picking through like just what's left over because like malls have already been like clean picked and or picked clean,
Clean
um,
picked.
clean picked. Um, and like and she's just trying to find like some medical remedy, and they
Hmm
find like just the empty box of it, and like that's the world they live in. It's like, oh yeah, like, oh, we found one, oh, the box is empty. So
Yeah.
it's just like it's everything's already been cleaned out,
Right.
and they still just have to scrounge for what they need in order to survive. And so things like food are hard to come by, especially when you're out on your own and you're in hiding.
Yeah.
So there is two stories going on, and then Zed doesn't, again, like I said, like she doesn't show up until like the ends, but we get some badassery out of her.
We do,
Uh,
and I really enjoyed that she fought some sort of I don't know, a guard or something like that, and I guess she was going back to her old clan, and it was she had to fight the person who was the guard to get in. And
yeah,
I thought all of that was really cool. I love the design of the guard. I like
yeah,
the person who's leading it was like this
Ma,
yeah, Ma is this just obese woman who has like spider legs. She's like there's that guy on X-Men who's
But there's
like
also, I was thinking of like Darth Maul when he gets reintroduced in the Clone
yeah.
Wars.
Yeah, I try to make like a
But yeah, there's also
imagine his legs.
yeah, there's a guy from X-Men too who's like similar.
Yeah, I want to say like Mojo or something like that. I'll look him up.
We'll go with that. Mojo sounds great.
I think it is Mojo.
Mojo from X-Men.
I'm gonna Google that and see what happens. It's Mojo. Wow. Yeah, it looks very similar to Mojo. For those of you who don't know Mojo, that's Mojo.
Yeah.
My dirty phone screen.